So the properties of the standard normal distribution are pretty similar to just a regular normal distribution, but it has a mean of 0. So the cumulative area, so the area under the curve, is going to be close to 0 for z-scores close to negative 3.49. So what that means, if I draw out my curve, so here we have our curve, here we have 0. So negative 3.49, so that's going to be down here. So it's going to be close to 0 because it's where it starts leveling off. Cumulative area is close to 1 for z-scores, close to 3.49. So the reason it's close to 1 is because if we think of the area, so we do the area from left to right. So the area from the left all the way over here, that almost encompasses the entire curve, whereas like our negative here, if we're starting on the left, then this wouldn't really encompass much. So that's why 0 when it's negative 3.49 and 1 when it's positive 3.49, because we do count our cumulative area from left to right under the curve. The cumulative area increases as the z-score increases. So from negative, we get a little bit smaller, and then we in the negatives, and then we increase to our positive numbers. So the bigger the number, the more area. And then the cumulative area for z equals 0 is 0.5. So if 0 is our mean, that would mean that half of our graph would be shaded. So from left to right, if we stop at 0, that includes half of our graph. So using the standard normal table is how we find the area under the curve from left to right. So find the cumulative area that corresponds to a z-score 1.15. So that means the area starting at the left of the curve. So we need to use our z-score charts. So you'll notice I have positive z-scores and negative z-scores. So the positive are the first page. It asks us for a 1.15. So on the left, we're going to look for 1.10. So 1.1 right here. And then at the top, you'll notice like this would be 1.10, 1.11, 1.12, 1.13, 4, and so on. So we want 1.15. So 1.0. Nope, 1.1 is what we want. 1.1 and 0.05. So when we go over and down, we get 0.8749. So that would be our answer for the cumulative area under the curve. So 0.8749. 0.8749. So now it says find the cumulative area for negative 0.24. So we go back. So now we want the negative. So negative 0.24. We want negative 0.2 to start, which is right here. So we have negative. Oh, nope, that's negative 0.2 down here. There we go. And then we want 4 at the top, so 0.04. So here it is. So when we go down this row, all the way down to here, we get 0.4052. So 0.4052 would be our answer for that. So 1.15, that's 0.8749. So about 87% of our graph is shaded. And then for this one, 0.40, so about 40% of our graph is shaded. So we are just going to be using the charts. We're not going to use the calculator. So sketch the standard normal curve, shade the appropriate area under the curve, find the area for each. So for the first example, we're finding it for the left of z, and we are going to use z equals 1.23. So the left of z, same thing as the cumulative area. So if we draw our curve, if this is 0 and over here is about 4, we'll say about here is like 1.23. So we're going to shade everything to the left of 1.23. So we're looking for this area. So it's more than 50% because this line would represent half of the curve. It's going to be a little bit more than 50%. And that's kind of a way you can check. So find the area. So now we have to look up this on the chart. So let's go to our chart. And we're looking up 1.23. So we want 1.2 and then 0.03, which brings us to 0.8907. So that would be our answer, 0.8907. So anytime we have to the left, that means the z-score on the table will give us the answer. So next, what we want to do is, what if we want to find to the right of z? So if we want to find to the right of z, z is 1.23. What that is going to look like, drawn out. So here is my middle, 0. Here's 1.23. To the right would be this area. So all of this area is to the right of that number. If the total area under the curve is 1 and the table gives us the area to the left, if we want to find the area to the right, we do 1 minus the area on the table. So if we want to find the area to the right of 1.23, we would do 1 minus 0.8907. And that's going to give us the area to the right, which would be 0.1093. The last type of question you might get is between two z-scores. So let's say they asked for the area between, so z equals negative 0.75 and z equals 1.23. So to draw that, so here's 0, here's our 1.23, negative 0.75 on the other side. So we're going from here to here. So we want this area. So we want to the left of 1.23 and to the right of 0.75. So in that middle area. So we already know the probability to the left of 1.23 is equal to 0.8907. If we want to find to the right of negative 0.75, what we're going to do is do 1 minus whatever it is on our sheet. So negative, we're going to go to the negative 0.75. So here is 0.7. Just going to get rid of this so we don't get confused. Negative 0.7. We want 0.05, so we're going down this column. So 0.2266. So when we do 1 minus 0.2266, we get 0.77. So when we want to get the area between the two, the last step is to subtract these two areas. So we found to the left of our point on the right, to the right of our point on the left, and then we're going to subtract those to get the area in the middle of the two. So when we do that, 0.8907 minus 0.77, that is going to give us our final answer, 0.12. So that is the area in the middle. So it's about 10% in the middle there. So that one is a little bit trickier. So just to recap, for sketching to the left, you find the z-score on the table. For sketching to the right, you do 1 minus the z-score on the table. For sketching between, you take the bigger number, you find that z-score on the table, you take the smaller number, 1 minus that z-score on the table, and then you subtract them both. So if we are looking for between, I'm just going to recap, subtract the two areas. Now we have some more examples. Find the area under the standard normal curve to the left of z equals negative 0.99. So here's 0. Negative 0.99 is here, and we are going to find the area to the left. So when we find the area to the left, that is the number on our chart for negative 0.99. So negative 0.99 is what we're looking for. So here's negative 0.9, and we want 0.99. Okay, so first 0.1611. 0.1611 would be our area. Now it says find the area under the standard normal curve to the right of z equals 1.06. Finding area to the right, so this is 0. This is about 1.06. We're finding the area to the right. So on the right side of that. So when we're finding area to the right, we're going to do 1 minus the table value. So 1.06 on our table. So 1.0 is there, 0.6, 0.8554. 0.8554. So we do 1 minus 0.8554 to get 0.1446 as our area. So about 14%, or like about 15 if we're rounding up. Find the area under the standard normal curve between z equals negative 1.5 and z equals 1.25. All right, here's 0. We have positive 1.25. We'll say that's about here. Negative 1.5. We'll say that's about here. And we want this area between. So we're going to have to subtract the 1.25 from whatever we get here. So for z equals 1.25, the table value is so we want 1.2, 1.2, and then 5, 0.8944, 0.8944, and then for z equals negative 1.15, we want 1 minus whatever that value is. So 1.15 negative 1.1, and this row 0.1251. 1251. So 1 minus 0.1251, we get 0.8749. And our last step is to subtract these together. So 0.8944 minus 0.8749, and our final answer is 0.0195. 0.0195 would be our final answer for that one. And that is how you find the area under the curve.